Hi, good morning everybody. My name is Josiah Crane, and today I'm going to be giving you an informative speech on alleviating stress during the home buying ownership process. So there's basically three main points to alleviate stress during the home buying process. One, being informed, knowing the costs, and also being financially stable before you buy a home. Before I get into the details, I'm going to give you a little bit a quote from a survey conducted in 2017 of 2,000 adults. So of those surveyed, 33% of those adults said they're going to buy a home in the next 5 years, and of those, 50% of the millennials said they plan on buying a home. So this should apply to most of you guys probably planning on buying a home. So keep your ears perked up. My personal story of buying a home. When I was 22, I was 6 months out from getting married, and I jumped probably naively into buying a home without really doing much research, knowing what I was doing. And before I knew it, I had the keys in my hand, and I had the house, and I didn't really realize all the costs that are involved, like maintenance and everything else. I ended up spending like $1,000 just to make it livable after buying the house. And hopefully you guys won't make that mistake. There was a quote from that same survey saying that of those surveyed, some believe that buying a home is more affordable than renting, and while this could be true, especially over the long term, they may not be taking in ongoing costs like maintenance, property taxes, and home ownership into full consideration. So just know what you're getting into when you're buying a home, is my advice to you. Now that we've discussed the costs and knowing what you're getting into, let's transition to knowing what you can afford when you're trying to buy a home. As far as mortgage payments goes, or mortgages go, there's a 15-year and a 30-year are typical mortgages. On a 30-year loan, you pay a lower mortgage payment monthly because it's over a longer term. And on a 15-year, you'll pay it off in 15 years, so you're going to have bigger payments. But rule of thumb for a mortgage payment is you don't want it to be more than 25% of your total income. So if you're making $4,000 a month, you don't want your mortgage payment to exceed $1,000. Otherwise, it's going to be like an undue burden on your finances, and you may end up foreclosing on the home in the long run, statistically speaking. So that's a good rule of thumb looking into getting a mortgage for a house. Another thing, moving into financial stability, having a set emergency fund is crucial to being financially stable. Okay, so an emergency fund is defined as 3 to 6 months of expenses. So if your expenses are $1,000, you just times that number by 3 to 6. Have that in a good savings, and you'll be set and you'll be stable in order to go into buying a home. So a good alternative, if you don't have that saved up, possibly rent until you have that good emergency fund, and then go into buying your home. That would be my advice. Okay, so the last and final point is saving in the long run. So we talked a little bit about 15-year versus 30-year. With a 15-year loan, if you had a $200,000 loan with 4.5% interest, over the life of that loan, you would pay about $75,000 in interest. Contrastedly, with a 30-year loan, you would pay $175,000 in interest. So just know the costs that are involved with making a lower down payment, because you end up paying to the tune of $100,000 in interest over the lifetime of that loan if you play it out over 30 years. So saving now and having a good down payment will help you save money in the long run when buying a home. So today we learned about basically buying a home, being informed, the process involved, knowing what you can afford by using tools, basically knowing that 25% of your income is a good rule of thumb. And then lastly, saving in the long run by having a 15-year mortgage instead of a 30-year mortgage. Are there any questions, comments, concerns? All right, thank you for listening.